Well, and welcome back, everybody, for Game 2 of Team Liquid Academy going up against Supernova here. Game 1 was over in a flash, Cubby. Team Liquid Academy is showing up with a vengeance here in Summer Proving Grounds off of the back of an incredible performance coming out of, all members participated for sure, but Harry in particular standing out, getting around the map on this little block, and has, thorn in the side for Supernova to constantly deal with.
It was, I like the strategy a lot from TL. And I think that, going into this game, something that I know Harry talked about was, given the fact that they are the #1 seed, given the fact that the last Proving Grounds didn't go as they hoped for, they felt a little bit of pressure coming into this one, right? Like, they didn't want to let down their fans, let down everyone that kind of had them, were predicting them as the tournament favorites. And, man, does it feel like they're playing this first game free, this first game without any pressure, as it was all Team Liquid from really the moment that they pulled off that late invade with the Kindred Braum.
A couple of the moments that Supernova were in the game still happened early on. That play topside where still Ayla gets the first blood. Then this bottom play here where the double teleports come in from Team Liquid and Harry gets the double kill. That's when the Oceanic mid laner really got accelerated and then could do stuff like this. It's not that LeBlanc can just do this. It's the fact that Harry was accelerated in the item build and then could find these types of plays. But look at Academy, they didn't just only play through Harry. They played all over the map and they just kept the pressure on.
That's the fact that 4-0 LeBlanc can do this, right?
Yeah.
that is the start that Harry had in the early game, as we're just watching him escape everything in harm's way, and TL bounce back. I also do want to credit Ayla quite a bit. We saw that roam top where he did get the kill onto Cozy. But I think Ayla quietly also had a very good game on Braum, also just being in the right place at the right time. And when you have double marksman and you are able to connect with an auto attack or a Q, those concussive blows are very powerful, very easy to proc from Team Liquid, as we see here in this replay. And overall, just a very strong showing from this team of 5 that we had high expectations for coming into this tournament, and man, game 1, have they delivered?
Absolutely delivered in spades. Supernova are going to have to go back to the drawing board, figure out what they want to do to answer what Team Liquid Academy showed them in game 1. Again, level 1 invade. That already put Maddie heavily on the back foot, but then also that play on the bottom side accelerating to LeBlanc. Maybe you just say, okay, ban away to LeBlanc. Maybe you say, just play a little slower. Don't go for these crazy plays when the enemy team has all these teleports available. Whatever the answer is, they're going to have to come up with it quickly, because Team Liquid Academy clearly are coming into this series prepared and ready to show us some new, cool, unique stuff. But then also doubling down on some things that are maybe a little predictable. You also in the draft predicted, Camille top is going to be a problem. And Jenkins is willing to blind pick that. I don't think that the Jace was the correct answer, so Supernova also need to find something else that will work into that.
The only new thing they showed was Armeo's Kindred, which, if you've been following Armeo as a player, you know that he is always able to pull off Kindred. He just hasn't really played it yet this split, and hey, in the Jarvan, felt like it was good, felt like they could late invade and pull off what they did, and he got rather accelerated in that game along with the rest of Team Liquid. So I think going into this one for Supernova, one of the big differences that we see from just different levels of play, especially just across the world, is the laning phase. This is a comp that Supernova, we have seen them play a lot of Aziraphelios, navigate these picks out of the lane phase rather well, but when you're going up against Team Liquid Academy and players like Jenkins and Armeo that have proven they can hold their own and perform very well on even the LCS stage, that's difficult. And we saw, I think, Jenkins play that lane out very well, gave Cozy a very tough time. Harry made sure that Strompist was under his turret for the majority of the game, wasn't really able to impact the map, and just allowed Armeo to punish that jungle matchup so hard, as Maddie really had to help his laners out and wasn't able to find anything that could get his team far ahead enough to actually compete with what Team Liquid were doing in that early game. So maybe I want to see Supernova potentially draft a little bit more strength, or maybe just go to that comfort. Pull out that Lilia that we know that they can manufacture so many wins on with Maddie.
True, that was not banned away from the side of Team Liquid Academy. But you went back to the point of the difference in just Armeo having that LCS experience, Jenkins as well. Supernova, this is the joy of Proving Grounds. This is why we put this together, right? It's so that we can get these players to compete against each other and that they can all learn from each other. Because Maddie also he's been around it throughout amateur for the last couple of years, going from Team Front, Team Fish Taco, if anybody remembers the
Dark
OG.
Allegiance, baby.
Dark Allegiance, yeah, and then here to Supernova. So he's been through the ringer of amateur, and now this is a fantastic opportunity to show, okay, now it's Armeo. Now it's Team Liquid Academy. They just won the Academy season. What can you show us here? And I think already we're going to see Supernova learning a lot of lessons right now, because that game one, there was definitely a lot that was taught to them. So as we're getting ready for game number 2 here, hopping into pick and ban, I want to bring us back to Team Liquid Academy's side, because again, Cubby, we've kind of hinted maybe tournament favorites. Are they playing at that level, or do you want to see a little bit more from them? Do you think that there was anything that they could have cleaned up in that game?
I mean, probably, but you can't really fault anything they did. Team Liquid, for me, they're really good. I think that this Academy squad and the way they play, I think that they are able to pull off a lot of unique strategies, a lot of it built around Jenkins, who... I think that Jenkins, like, any knock that people have had on Jenkins throughout his playing career is maybe like, oh, you know what, like, he plays his own champion pool, right? Well, that own champion pool that he plays is really good, and he's been able to mix in other picks like the Camille into that champion pool. I think that he's really rounded himself out as a player that is the best top laner that we have in this tournament. Especially with the other ones that you think that have given or might give him trouble. I think Darshan's had a fantastic split, but Kumo and Tenacity, 2 strong top laners that we have in Academy, aren't even playing in this tournament, as Kumo, of course, did move up to that LCS roster, and Tenacity is boot camping with 100 Thieves over in EU with Tenacity, or with Kenvi.
With Kenvi, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that this is a tournament that Jenkins can really stuff up, really shine, and I think that this guy has already proven that, you know, moving into the next offseason, your team needs a top laner. Jenkins should be on that short list, and I think that this tournament will further prove that, because I really think that Jenkins is head and shoulders above the rest of the top laners that we have here. And that first game, Camille in the Jace, he played that matchup so well, made life so hard for Cozy, and that's really where TL started to build that lead, just through Jenkins individually playing that lane fantastically.
And there's a narrative that some people, if you check Reddit comments, don't go to Reddit for your Academy narratives, by the way, but the negative narrative is if a player's in Academy for a while, it means that they're not good enough for LCS. That's just not true. Jenkins has been on Team Liquid Academy for, what, over 2 years now? And you saw him sub into LCS, and he was performing incredibly well at LCS. And I think that we're going to see... It was fantastic. I think that we're really going to see... Jenkins pop off in this tournament, and this is a great opportunity for him to bring eyes onto him as a player to say, no, I am ready for that next step.
We talked about this we had Emily Rand on the Proving Grounds pod, me and Smacks, and we actually talked about this specifically for Jenkins, because he did play very well in the LCS. It's just so hard because Alfari is the best laning top laner we've ever seen in that league, right? So it's not like you're going to put in like Jenkins over Alfari in the long run, because that guy is probably the best top laner that like NA has. But Jenkins played really well. Team Liquid were the only team that wasn't playing Gwen, because Jenkins could play things like the Gangplank, like the Camille, like the Akali into it, and they were manufacturing wins off that in patches where Gwen was unanimously either banned on red side or first picked on blue. Team Liquid did not go with the flow on that and managed to find wins off of Jenkins' play. I really think that Jenkins is... the longevity that he's had on Team Liquid, it's for a reason. It's because Team Liquid believe in how good this top laner is, and the fact that he, of late, has really started to step up, show it, and get the attention of the community for being a strong top laner, which he has been for the past splits of Team Liquid as well. Even when they were taking 10th place, I still feel like Jenkins was a bright spot on those teams. Jenkins has really stepped up, and man, I think that going into this tournament, he is the top laner to take down. I think that a lot of teams are going to struggle with him in the top lane, just like Supernova struggled in that game one.
But opening up that conversation even further, yes, Jenkins is in the games that we're watching right now, so excited to talk about him because we get to see him directly after we get through pick and ban. But we saw a lot of situations where Academy players got starting time on LCS rosters and had very impressive performances. I'd say that 2021 is probably the most successful Academy year to date so far, of just players showing their skill and that they are ready to hang with the LCS players. So exciting time. Be a fan of the Proving Grounds level of competitive play. With that said, I am hearing that we're ready to hop into pick and ban for game number 2. So let's see what Team Liquid Academy and Supernova have been, brewing up here in preparation for game 2. Supernova, they'll have to find something different as they are on the same side, so still opting for that counter pick as their red 5. Let's see if they can make it work this time around, because Team Liquid Academy, they were showing a whole nother level from summer season, even in playoffs a little bit.
I think that the Kennen and the Gangplank bans into Jenkins are still rather warranted, but I was about to bring up the LeBlanc, which it was Harry's most played throughout the summer and the playoffs that Team Liquid did emerge victorious. And so I like the fact they're denying that right off the bat, forcing TL to change things from the start, which I think is much needed for Supernova, as they really didn't find their footing or any form of strength to build any sort of lead off in the map on that one. That first game was all Team Liquid.
They were controlling the game from the get-go, level 1. But they will not have the LeBlanc this time around. That's what really got out of control. Also, Supernova banning away the Thresh that they had locked in for themselves last time. So Team Liquid clapping back with some of those bot lane bans. They don't want links on the Tristana or the Varus. Gangplank's up, but Kennen is taken away by Supernova. I think, yeah, you got to take at least one of those away, at least the Kennen.
And it's going to be a Ziggs for Yawn. And this is actually Team Liquid showing a new look. Ziggs is something that Yawn has not played, or did not play for the entire Academy playoffs. This is something that they were oftentimes banning away from teams. And so immediately taking that Ziggs, Team Liquid is showing that they've evolved, showing that they have more strats up their sleeve, as Cozy hovering a couple of his favorite champions. And that Aurelia did make it through pick ban. This could be the big switch for Supernova, as Aurelia is going to be locked in and flexed on red side throughout what we expect to be the rest of draft.
I would expect it. You want to hold that card close to your chest here, but it's exciting nonetheless because, yeah, it was banned last time around, so Supernova finally getting their hands on this. And now they get to pair it with a jungler, so they're going back to the J4. Maddie still wants this pick here. Interesting read from Maddie on the current meta. Maybe it's just a comfort thing. Maybe it's just a champ pool thing. Clearly wants to go back to this J4.
So this explains why we didn't see the Gangplank ban, as Gangplank is a matchup that I don't think we're going to have Jenkins take into this Aurelia. And what I expect to see here from Team Liquid is most likely securing a top laner or a counter, as now setting up that Camille with the Ziggs. That's always that Super Mega Inferno Bomb into that Hextech Ultimatum. That is a deadly combination for the side of Supernova now to try and have to deal with. Also denying that from potentially being comboed with J4, even though there wouldn't be any magic damage in that comp, so scratch that one. As expecting now to see a support paired up with Ziggs, could just see a Leona power picked here if Team Liquid do want to go for that.
Or a Bard. Okay. Ayla going to the Bard pick. We've seen this played in a couple professional regions as of late. Kind of having a surge in popularity in the tail end of summer.
This should be Clyde's Leona just being slammed into the Bard, as there are a few ways to buffer Bard stuns on Leona. If you land a nicely timed Zenith Blade, you can travel during the duration of the stun, try and follow that up. And also going through those magical journeys, you do know where it lands, but instead, Kangas, it is the Clyde special. It is Pike.
All right, not Thresh, not Leona, none of these engaged supports that, also have the tanky stats. It's going for the glass cannon right now. They got the assassin in the support role for Clyde, known for this pick, and also theoretically could have a really good laning phase against the Ziggs and the Bard, but also, most importantly, can get out of lane, be a nuisance to side lanes.
And this is a pick, if you guys don't know anything about Clyde, Clyde's been a player that's been playing since 2014 for Robert Morris University, when they were one of the first universities to have a full ride team. Fun fact, I actually had to play against Clyde, and he bodied me back then when I was playing in collegiate. Oh, yeah. But he's recently was top 20 on the Challenger ladder, I believe, in the past couple weeks. I think he's sitting around 58 right now, as I checked last night. And is a player that has played for Robert Morris University, Columbia, Maryville, and now Harrisburg University, along with multiple iterations of Supernova. So Clyde's been around for a long time, someone that has stepped in late, and this is a unique flair for Clyde, something that he specializes in, as we talked about Supernova, returning to comfort possibly to get out of these lanes, get in a more favorable state of the game. Looks to be the strategy for them, as we are seeing, on the flip side, Team Liquid start to ban out some of the magic damage champions that Supernova might want to take, as they don't have any magic damage yet in their composition.
They need to find somewhere. The Pike has execute damage, which still feels nice, and some true damage coming in from Aurelia. But I just want to say, respect to Supernova for Clyde coming in, last-minute substitute, and now they're playing through him, essentially, giving him the pike in the Game 2 against Team Liquid Academy where they're down. A loss here means that they go right to the lower bracket. So, a lot of confidence being placed onto Clyde. Ezreal is their AD carry of choice. They still want to hold out Aurelia flex pick till the very end. I think that makes sense.
Also, with the Jarvan, there is a backdoor opportunity that could go top. I don't think it's great into Camille, but never know if we still are potentially setting up for a Maddie Lilia. Pyke wants to roam. Ezreal, A-OK farming from 1k range. So I like that combo coming out, whereas Team Liquid is actually a partial deny pick. I teased the Sejuani in the last draft with the Camille pairing. Looks like that is going to be the choice and the option for Armeo in this one. Already having that Camille to quickly proc that Sejuani stun as any melee character can help with that would be good. And Zed is also an option. They have magic damage in the bot lane, so they wanted to get crazy. Play double melee. Zed is someone that has been rising in some power.
No,
instead,
no,
will be the Jace.
There's no way you're blinding the Zed right there. They go for the Jace instead. It's locked in, which means...
Can't get second hope, you know? I want to see...
Well, now I'm actually... I was coming in real confident here, but now I'm seeing, again, Camille and Jay, so one of those is going to have to go into the mid lane depending on that matchup. They basically just want a good matchup into the Aurelia either way, so Supernova, they needed AP. They go for the Cassiopeia.
This is a Strompist special, as Strompist, a lot of the champions that he has been known for throughout his career, Rise, which we have been seeing banned away from him, Azir, Vigar, notably, but also Cassiopeia. And so once again, Supernova with that Cassio, with this Pyke, and also with Cozy's Aurelia, definitely have returned to some comfort for this game. And I want to see if that helps them get better lane states and play out these lanes a little bit better, because it really feels like that's where Team Liquid got the best of them in the last one. They played out their lanes so well, especially Jenkins on this Camille. Cozy now opting for the Aurelia, and have to see if this is a better lane matchup for him.
And this is one of those small moments where there's a cool interaction that I want to highlight that I'm actually aware of. It used to be Bard one trick, now just, I guess, Bard main. But Cassiopeia is one of the best mid laners to go up against because she can't get boots early on. And her movement speed scales over time, so you can actually land those Tempered Fates on mid lane pretty easily at level 6 if you just roam right to mid lane. So I'm going to keep my eyes on Ayla and Clyde. How are they going to impact this mid lane as well? Because that can really open up the map for Team Liquid Academy if Harry gets ahead here.
I have some concerns with the Cassiopeia, as she will get outranged rather severely by both Jace and Ziggs. And if Yon does play the Ziggs out well, you can drop the minefields, really force Cassiopeia to select terrain one way or another, but gonna have to see if Team Liquid can execute upon that as we are diving into Game 2 here, Tangus.
Team Liquid Academy up 1-0 to kick off Proving Ground Summer 2021. Supernova, Art of Amateur, Academy Killers, the team that knocked out the only Academy team to not make it in, on the back foot right now. One loss away from going into the lower bracket to kick off their Proving Grounds. And hey, very different looking draft here. So they at least changed things up for this time around. As we start to focus on the game itself, Cubby, let's start to set expectations for where these junglers will want to put their early pressure. What lanes do they want to play through? And what are the win conditions of these teams?
So Ziggs and Ezreal can both farm from pretty much unlimited range in this game. And top lane, one of the most volatile matchups that you can see in the game. So both junglers starting on the bot side, trying to race towards that top side. And we're going to have to see if they opt for any 3-camp clears. If Sejuani does go something like red buff Raptors into Gromp, we could see some very early action in the top lane, whereas Jenkins already waiting here, landing a very favorable trade onto Cozy, getting 3 autos to on, and will now prac Grasp.
Kind of what you expect, especially based on the last game in the top lane. Cozy, he's getting the Jenkins treatment right now. I mean, this is Jenkins, everybody. Welcome to Proving Grounds. Welcome to Team Liquid Academy. Loves to just show his skill in this 1v1 in the top lane, and while he can play weak side, he can also do this.
This is honestly some beautiful league being played by Jenkins. I just love how sitting in that brush, using the bone plating, using the fact that you have that shield first trade that you take on Camille, just getting 3 autos to nothing, right? And doing it again against Cozy, showing that Jenkins does know these matchups to the limit, as Cozy will sidestep that one. Third shot being negated by the shield. We talked about both junglers racing top. Looks like Maddie has opted for a full clear on the bot side, now going to the red buff. Whereas Armeo actually mirroring with a full clear as well. Just a little bit further behind due to Sejuani being a not-so-fast clear in the early game.
Cozy takes another rough
Wow.
trade here, but I'm actually a little worried because Cozy, once he hits level 2, can set up with a flawless duet, and Maddie, like you said, is here faster, so Armeo already just
Nope,
runs
he's
straight
skipping
up.
over it. Yep.
All right, yeah, Armeo says, I'm going to give up on some of my clear speed so I can
Strompus
get to
is
top
coming
lane,
too,
because I'm
though.
assuming that Jenkins is here. Yeah, the Cassiopeia will catch out Armeo in the river right now. They spotted Armeo, too, from that ward that was placed down. Maddie's here, Strompus is here, Armeo runs into lane. Supernova see that Team Liquid have their jungler here. Team Liquid see that Maddie and Strompus are here as well. And we're all just going to walk away. Exhausting the bottom lane, though. Clyde getting aggressive on Ayla. That's Ignite down. Lynx can get this. One more auto. Ayla's still alive. He's got the W, but Lynx finds it. Jan will trade. AD carry for support, but level 3 on the Ziggs. Clyde's got to be careful here. Has to run away. 1-for-1 trade in the 2v2 bot lane. Woo.
That one
spicy.
Okay,
Wait, okay. Jenkins just gets the solo kill top lane. Sweet, why not?
Yeah, Maddie was on the Krugs. That's huge, as Jenkins is going to deny that entire wave of golden experience. But going back to the bot lane, if we get a replay of that, Yawn flashed to block a Mystic Shot. And that bought so much more time for Bard to at least hit as...
Lights here. Lynx teleported in. Jan's in trouble. Oh, the Mystic Shot misses! Jan jukes left when Lynx out of juke right. And the teleport comes through. I don't even know if it's necessary. Lynx still alive, though. One more auto from Ayla, and Clyde runs right into Jenkins, waiting his arm. The stun lands.
Okay.
Oh, but he still gets it. Team Liquid Academy with 4 on the board at 4:20 minutes.
And Yawn's Ziggs, these two skirmishes are crazy play coming out of Yawn, whose Ziggs, we haven't really seen him incredibly step up. Watch this flash from Yawn. He flashes to block the Mystic Shot in front of Ayla. That ends up allowing Var to get down an extra auto, enabling Yawn to take down Lynx, and then when you lose your marksman and keep your own to the 1-for-1, that's a winning trade for the side of Team Liquid, not to mention the top side. Jenkins, second matchup selection for Cozy. Still not the one that he can get the best of Jenkins in. As we return bot lane, watch the satchel charge from Yawn. Once the stun connects from Bard, he uses this satchel charge to give Lynx. He throws him into the turret, so he eats another tower shot. As he sidesteps that Mystic Shot, just racing towards the wave. Now the stun lands. Watch the satchel.
Ooh.
Extra tower shot.
Timed.
Goodbye, Lynx. Just gets chased down by Ayla. As Ziggs is a champion that we usually don't talk about or mention a lot for having just absurd mechanics or playing that absurdly well. Yawn played those fights perfectly out of Ziggs. Very impressive play coming out of a young member from Team Liquid Academy. Another 100X graduate along with Cozy in the top lane.
Yeah, he went from 100X. He was in scouting grounds. And then right into Team Liquid Academy. I think a pretty valuable pickup for Team Liquid right now. As Strompus has now lane swapped to the top lane here to deal with Jenkins. 2-0 Camille. And Supernova say, all right, let's try and slow that down a little bit. Give the ranged matchup instead.
Curiously enough, I do like this for Supernova. As Aurelia and the Jace, it's not as easy to punish that matchup in a shorter lane, which is mid. But in a long lane, Aurelia is a common counter that we see in Jace picks. Supernova trying to punish Harry, who goes in.
Very aggressive. The flawless duet misses. And now Ayla's here. Maddie's locked out. Armeo's joined in as well. Clyde almost hits some multi-champ stuff. But the teleport from Strompus might be enough. But Jenkins gets there first. Harry takes down Cozy. And Supernova are just giving kills over to Team Liquid Academy, who are just pincering in the mid lane right now. That is 3 more picked up by TLA.
Not Supernova's day today, Kangas, as on the flip side, Team Liquid, holy smokes, what a performance coming out of them to boot off Proving Grounds, as the lane swaps, any curveballs that Supernova seem to throw at them, whether it's how they move on the map or the picks they're taking in Champ Select, nothing is wavering Team Liquid as they are on a mission in this set to shut down the 16 seed, and man, are they doing it well.
Incredible performance from TLA so far. Jenkins all over the map. Gets a solo kill top lane. TP's bot gets a kill. Roam's mid gets 2. 4-0 on the Camille. At 7 minutes into this game. Oh, Supernova are in such a rough position now as he's looking for even more. Maddie's here first, but Armeo's joining in. Teleport comes in from TLA as well. Cozy goes down. Jenkins is still alive. And Maddie, only level 5, will at least shut down Jenkins. But Harry will turn the play, get another kill for TLA, and they can shove in a full wave and a half.
Yeah, I think Jenkins might report Harry for missing that shock blast. He ends up going down for those sins. But hey, you know, it's all right. We're still coming out on top. Team Liquid's still going to work as Ayla.
Never can get something by. Okay, Clyde doesn't want to throw out the E. Maybe it was on cooldown. Ayla still gets away safely here. Yeah, at Supernova, they... Oh, you unfortunately mischarged right there from Clyde. Supernova, they need to get around the map right now. I mean, they need to shut down these members of Team Liquid Academy, and they're doing so. Strumpus is top lane right now. They catch Harry here. No TP, no flash. This is a big pick for Supernova.
They gift it over to the Aurelia as Cozy is very far behind in this matchup. That will help Aurelia catch back up, who can still be a game breaker in the side lane if she does get ahead. The changes to Aurelia do ensure that she scales very well, but Team Liquid trying to not let Cozy to get off the ground running as this was almost turned around by Supernova, but Armeo able to connect the stun onto Aurelia, ensures that Aurelia can't trade back. As that shock blast does go wide, Manny does pick up a kill in, or I should say to respond, but responses from Supernova still not available for the series as they find themselves at a 3K gold deficit at the 9-minute mark. That is a humongous lead for Team Liquid once again, Canvas.
You can feel how rough a position Supernova are in because they're trying to make those plays happen, but they're already behind from the previous plays, so they were level 5. Like, we had a level 5 jungler and top laner against level 6 Jenkins and Armeo, and it's just rough in those kind of situations to make those plays happen. Doesn't go in their favor, but again, they get the pick onto Harry afterwards, but it's not enough to turn the tides in their favor. Team Liquid Academy are just diving Cozy in the mid lane while simultaneously taking the dragon, so an objective and a kill. Woo! Team Liquid Academy, they are putting pedal to the metal right now.
Jenkins crashed that wave top. Look what he does with that time. We talked about how Camille, another champion that he's added to his arsenal that has looked extremely deadly throughout his play. These two games, he might be starting to draw some Camille bans now in the future, Kangas. You already have to ban out his undefeated Kennen. That is 6-0 this split. Then there's the Gangplank. That's his most played, 11 plays. Not to mention the Akali, where it's 5-2 and 7 plays. And now we've got this Camille. As Jenkins... Whew.
You know, like when you first start playing League and you're kind of confused, like, wait, why is it one person top, one person mid, 2 people bot? Like,
yeah.
Everyone, when they first start playing, they're like, I have the secret tech. What if we put 2 people top lane? And we throw the opponents for a loop. I feel like Jenkins is that kind of player right now. He's like, what's a laning phase? I'm just gonna be in every lane at once. I'm gonna be in the top river right now, starting off a fight, even though I'm engaged on. Number Fate lands on the Clyde. Look at Academy. Don't actually want the fight. They just want to confirm the Herald first, even though they have 5 members nearby. Really Supernova off of this one. Oh, that bone screw misses from Clyde. If that had landed, might have been a big play for them. But Rift Herald picked up, and I think it's just going to be dropped immediately topside. They just crack this turret and start to drop.
Yeah, why not? Might as well funnel more gold into Jenkins. Instead, might look to make a play with the Ziggs, as of course, if you get the turret plating to about 1.5, 1.25, Ziggs can do the rest with Satchel Charge, making a Rift Herald pretty much worth 3.5 plates if you put Shelly in the right spot. That looks like what might be the game plan here for Armeo. I say that, going straight back up to the lane with Jenkins in it, looking to support him as it is a rinse and repeat. Yeah, you might as well just keep on funneling Camille.
Yeah, let Jenkins get around the map even more easily. Supernova, meanwhile, I think that they're reading this. Cozy has to play this very carefully because the rest of the team is on the bottom side. They should be communicating Cozy. You're probably getting dove as he is right now. Not sure if there's much you can do about it, though. And there we go. Team Liquid lock him down and pick up an easy kill.
Not even going to drop Rift Herald. Might want to keep that turret up there as Ayla has finally been able to sneak back into the lane. Yang needs that ult to try and wave clear it, but Supernova is still trying to respond. There are TPs.
They have to force this. They're going to be so far behind if they don't get this play, but the wave's down. They just got a hard dive right now. Jan gets to safety. Clyde caught away from the team. That's one teleport. Strumpus is here, though. Ayla's got to be careful. Grounded. Jenkins avoiding the Cassiopeia, just going right for Clyde, who runs straight into Harry. Teleport comes in from Cozy.
Hey,
Supernova, they will take down one. Jan's dead. Ayla gets to safety. 1-for-1 trade. 80 carry for support.
Good play from Strumpus. We're seeing the value of the ground with Cassiopeia. The ideal fight for Supernova is they want to land the Cataclysm and throw the ground on top of that so that no one can escape, no one can flash out. As they at least try to attempt the play, but because Ayla and Yon were still able to buy so much time, buy so much space for Team Liquid Academy, they still get a good trade across the map as they use Shelby to take some points mid, and that mid lane turret is just a satchel charge away from going down to the hands of Team Liquid.
And that's more gold into their pocket. 4K, 4.5K in the lead now for Team Liquid Academy. Very impressive performance to kick off Proving Grounds here. They're up against Supernova and the amateur teams, but back in spring, they did drop in that first round, and now, I mean, they're looking like a tournament favorite. This is what we expect from a tournament favorite and the performance that they're putting on right now. Jenkins is everywhere. Armeo is everywhere. The team is just roaming and moving as a unit so well, and Cozy's just losing these trades so aggressively. Is at the Vanguard's edge. Actually getting the resets here. Maddie's joining in.
Cozy.
Jenkins gets out of the Cataclysm, and he's alive. There's no way. Clyde's here. There we go. It's death from below. Stun onto Armeo. And Skewer is prepping, but he doesn't want to trigger the turret. Teleport coming in here from Harry. This is the turnaround for Team Liquid Academy. So much damage from long range. Armeo gets a double kill. Maddie in trouble. The stun from Ayla. Beautiful on Astrampus. A triple kill. A quadra kill for Armeo.
No way.
Are they going to give him a pentakill on Sejuani to kick off Proving Grounds? I think they are. Pentakill to Armeo.
Oh, that is one big boar and a happy camper sitting on top of the saddle as Team Liquid, the theme for them has been get on top of the horse. Why not get on top of the boar? As Armeo 6-0-5 on this Sejuani, and now has a pentakill on top of his name. Have we ever seen a competitive Sejuani pentakill? Is that the first one we've seen?
I cannot say I have ever seen a competitive Sejuani pentakill, Cubby.
Oh boy.
Let's get a replay of how this happens, because it's Supernova that won it. They get Jenkins, and it starts off looking all right, but you see the Bard long-range ult, the portal, the Ziggs ult, the range of this composition.
So at least props to Cozy and Supernova for finding the play on Jenkins, but this is where things get a little bit long, a little bit wrong with the play, as that's a big Super Mega Inferno Bomb coming out on the Ziggs. Enables Armeo to pick up the 1-2, as that's a fadeaway ultimate looking for blood, and then going from there. The way that Ayla was able to set up these kills for Armeo, it pretty much just allows Sejuani to run through the team, pick up all the last hits, as Ayla tried to deny the penta there, but the shield ends up saving it, and now, well, at this point, you might as well do it for the laughs, as I know Team Liquid Academy, something they really like to talk about is that they really enjoy playing with each other. They have fun in and out of the game, team activities, watch an anime together, or whatever these guys like to do. They get along really well, and they trust each other, and it's fun to see that emerge in this game as, might as well give that kill over to Sejuani,
Roster swaps throughout the summer. Dokla and Ori coming in at different times, but Ayla said it. Jenkins and Armeo, the boys are back in town, everybody. Team Liquid Academy. Woo, what a fun showing. What a fun way to kick off your Proving Grounds. They're very far ahead in the gold lead now after that pentakill picked up by Armeo. They have 2 dragons in their name. They can just keep stacking these up. And, I mean, Supernova, if we're looking for positives, I mean, again, maybe you can look at Strampus on this Cassiopeia as like, okay, if they're going to win a crazy late game team fight, could be through the Cass. You know what a Cassiopeia can do once she hits, those 3-4 items. It's just going to be so difficult to get there.
I'm still stuck on the Sejuani pentakill, man. I've never seen one of those.
Can we request a second replay? I don't know. Maybe that's too much. We have to dwell on the fact.
Honestly, I don't ever really want to see one again, but I am glad that we saw one.
And of course, it's Armeo that does it too. I mean, like maybe the biggest Sejuani player is still in the league right now, even playing that in LCS. But bringing this back to live, Team Liquid Academy are starting to siege these turrets. They have a cannon wave in the mid lane on the tier 2, while also pushing in top lane. Harry double duty down here as Jan just takes down the turret. Yeah, Supernova. They just have to kind of give up these structures right now.
I love how Ayla's playing around that magical journey as well, right? Just using it to threaten the fact that he could throw out a Q at any time. And opening up the ability for Ziggs to rotate, which is something that Ziggs does have difficulty with, but the creative things you can do with those magical journeys, it's actually something that we've theory crafted that could be used into Ziggs, because one of the issues going into Ziggs is, of course, the minefields, taking away choke points. You can cheat that with magical journey. So given the fact that this combination is coming out, good to see a different look from Yon and Ayla, who have had a fantastic game 2 and a fantastic series along with the rest of their team. Really cannot sing enough praises from our broadcast booth about what Team Liquid has done to open up Proving Grounds here.
They get the second arrow too. Man, is Armeo gonna die this game? I guess that's the next question that we can ask. 6-0-5 on the Sejuani. Absolute tank, absolute unit here. And with a second Rift Herald, again, the decision tree for Team Liquid wide. Fruitful. Ready for whatever Team Liquid wants to put on the table here. And Supernova, they're going to be defensive on the back foot for the rest of this game if they can even try and wrestle this one back.
I feel like this is definitely like a wide Armeo angle, like like the wide Whippo jokes. I feel like Armeo on Sejuani has definitely deserved one of those videos from this one.
I think once you get a pentakill, you deserve it.
Yeah, maybe the Team Liquid team can make it happen, from socials. We don't have access to those videos up here. We're trying to cap these games as Team Liquid trying to end these games as they want to snuff out any hope for Supernova. Send them back to that black hole they were created from. So it's going to be Harry and Jenkins teaming up. Ash Brothers in the bot lane, taking down that turret, now looking for more.
And moving us out to the bigger picture here, you talked about the bracket and how things are shaping up. Kind of the middle of the bracket being really rough. Multiple academy teams, somebody's getting knocked out. We have like Immortals, Dig, and FlyQuest, along with Zeus, one of the best amateur teams that we have here. One of them's getting knocked out. Team Liquid Academy side of the bracket, you look at them as the first seed and this kind of performance, you now have to be feeling real confident as a Team Liquid fan, because if you win this, you're going up against either AoE or Cloud9 Amateur, who, yes, both of them had won, different or qualified through different tier 2 events, but still, you can feel pretty good about where you are in the bracket here compared to last spring.
It was a second place finish for both AoE and C9 that enabled them to book response. Of course, Wildcard did win all the tier 2s as Tempered Fate. Okay.
And should be the final fight here right now. It's Team Liquid Academy pushing onto the bottom inhibitor turret. Supernova taking so much damage. The Jace, the Ziggs, Armeo, hard engaging on the links right there. Looking for it, not finding it, but the inhibitor will be cracked. Rift Herald doesn't get the charge, but they don't need it. Team Liquid Academy have broken the base. That's a teleport
TP
from Strompus deep into the bottom jungle. It's a double TP. Maddie goes for the engage. Cataclysm has locked all members of Team Liquid in there. But look at Jenkins. He spots him out immediately and just dives onto Strompus. Cozy can't find anything. A valiant effort. A valiant attempt from Supernova, but it will not be enough. Jenkins diving forward like a bat out of hell. Finds one, or at least buys enough time for the team to follow up. Clyde will pick up that kill, but Team Liquid Academy marching under the Nexus turrets. They do lose Armeo. All right, there's one death for the big boar riding Iceborne, but I still think Team Liquid Academy can close this one out. They have the Ziggs, Teleport, and Harry. They have another wave coming in too, but Natty's up. Supernova, they might hold off right now. All right, with the death timers, Team Liquid cannot end.
All right, Alo gets that magical journey down. The first one came a little bit short. Props to Maddie. 5-man Cataclysm. At least bought some time for Supernova to try and turn it, but Strompus wasn't there yet from the TP. Him and Cozy were still both channeling, and they weren't able to follow this up with a 5-man ground with all that Cassiopeia damage, as it was a beautiful engage from Maddie, but you can see Cozy, Strompus, they aren't here yet, right? They just arrived to the fight now, and Strompus was really never able to arrive at the fight because Jenkins did a very good job of marking him, taking him down before he could get any damage off, as Cassiopeia, despite being behind, if given the space, can pump out the damage necessary for Supernova to turn it, but no turning happened this time around, as still all Team Liquid. And to answer your earlier question, Kangas, yes, Armeo will fall this game.
One. He's got one death. It was to a turret, a Nexus turret shot at that, so no, we'll give it to him. But still 6-1-8, incredible performance. And Team Liquid Academy, again, performances across the board have been impressive. I don't see any of these members slouching in this series. They're all stepping up. They're all answering the call of Proving Grounds right now, showing just why a lot of people are having Team Liquid Academy as the favorites. They have the bottom inhibitor broken. Now Jenkins diving deep with the Mega Inferno Bomb combo. Maddie looks for the engage, but just gets destroyed. Supernova, last vestige of hope for a team fight. Stromp is looking for it onto Jenkins. Doesn't quite have the damage. The dot might get the kill, but now Armeo frontlining. Strompus actually putting out work here with Lynx. The range of the Cassiopeia and the Ezreal, they're holding on for right now, but Team Liquid Academy, they will take this middle inhibitor. Jenkins goes for the bag, teleports back in here, so a full health bar on the Camille. Oh, True Shot Barrage almost takes down Armeo. Now Strampus healing up. Clyde's back on the table. You look at Academy. Will break the final Nexus turret. Gotta watch out for Clyde, who's just buying space right now. He says, hey, look at me. Don't go for the Nexus. All right, well, I guess I'm down to. But he bought time, so the rest of the team is spawned. Do have a 5v4, but Team Liquid, they're kind of low on their health bars. I don't know if they can actually go for the end.
I think they're going to try. The Jace poke is still extreme. They're pushing.
Up. It's full health right now. Supernova, they have to go in. They have to engage. Maddie doesn't find it, though. Goes into the stopwatch and will fall. The Mega Inferno Bomb again from Jan. Cozy and Strampus push back to the fountain. Lynx still full health, but can't find the angle. Double kill over to Jenkins. Clyde's respawn. He's back up.
Oh, no.
It's never going to end. Team Liquid Academy just hit the Nexus and they're suffering. Cozy will go down. Clyde, the only member from Supernova left, a double kill to Armeo. And Team Liquid Academy are having fun with it, Cubby. Clyde's still up. Armeo gets the kill for the A's. GG 2-0 the Team Liquid Academy.
That was a bit of fun at the end. 30-12 on the scoreboard. A little bit of an exercise there for Kangas as Team Liquid. Maybe not the cleanest wrapping that one up, but hey, overall, 2 clean wins from them, 2 dominant wins from them as they emerged victorious in our first Proving Grounds matchup, and they came in as the 1 seed. They came in as the Academy regular season summer split champions, and have continued that success as they don't give Supernova any chances to really come back in that series, Kangas. That was all Team Liquid from the start.
Every single early game to mid-game transition was just Team Liquid finding the early plays and then moving that to the next play, moving that to the next play. They were dictating the complete pace of this entire series. And impressive. I mean, we've said that word a couple times. I'm just going to say it again because Team Liquid Academy are showing up right now in Proving Grounds and kind of reversing the fortunes of their spring split. But let's take a look at the replays here of this game because the bottom 2v2 so close. Up flash from Jan, absolutely insane, giving a whole new meaning to the name defensive facilitating AD carry. We can sing so many praises for nearly every member of Team Liquid, but I know that Jan is definitely someone that we don't talk about as much, isn't someone that has seen the LCS stage yet. Marksman this split is in a role in a meta where it's really not the most impactful role. It's just a lot of poke champions coming out, but how cool is it to see Jan just win those 2 skirmishes really with his hands? And Ziggs is a champion that Jan hasn't really been particularly known for. In fact, that is Jan's first Ziggs play throughout the entire split of summer, and showing up big. As Team Liquid, I think they're throwing some new picks out there, maybe trying to give teams a little bit more to deal with. They feel like not only a dominant team, but also a flexible team in the way they play, making them a very dangerous team in this tournament. And again, Jan, a very young player. He was on the 100 Thieves Next program back in 2020. That's kind of where he got his name, where we first got to look at him. And, scouting grounds right into Academy. The trajectory of his career been impressive, and it's cool to see. Fun one. You do this, but this is the fun replay, everybody, the one that we've been waiting for here. It was Jenkins in the early game all over the map, but then this kind of summarizes the game state here. When does Sejuani can do this?
Man, I can't believe we just saw Sejuani pentakill. That really is something. As credit to Harry, actually a nice knockback there onto Maddie. Also landed the shot.
Everybody played this fight pretty impressively. Like, you look at Ayla hitting the Cosmic Bindings, you look at Harry setting up a lot of that CC as well. It's like everyone played their part.
It's what happens in a win. What happens when you trust each other the way the Team Liquid does, and what happens when you are able to gift pentakills over to Sejuani in a game. As that's exactly what we just saw there. Kangas says, man, what a series, what a performance from TL. I know that we've really harped on the fact that Proving Grounds didn't go the way they wanted it to. They have been a team that has taken top 2 in every single Academy event we have had, except for Spring Proving Grounds, where they did take a bottom 4 finish. Really a finish that we weren't expecting out of that team, and I think Team Liquid, whether they'd like to admit this or not, definitely looked like they came into this one with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, something to prove, as they are here to play for this Proving Grounds. They're going to have to be a team that everyone has to get through if they want to get to that title.
And to Supernova's credit, I do want to take a moment to kind of highlight the play that we are seeing. This is an extended replay because obviously there's a lot of action happening, but that initial setup from Maddie, the 5-champ Cataclysm with a double teleport play from Strumpus and Cozy. The team clearly, like, even when they're behind, they still were communicating what they wanted to do. Plays like that are really difficult to time correctly. To get the Cassiopeia and the Aurelia there at the same time that the Cataclysm goes down, so you can chain all the combos on top of each other. But the fact that they communicate that they want to go for that play and have the courage to actually try and execute. I mean, at that point, it's kind of like a Hail Mary. You kind of have to do something. But still, I think Supernova, if they could just time those types of engages a little bit better in the lower bracket, they still are a threat in the lower bracket that teams will need to look at. And just disrespect Supernova coming in as a 16th seed. They have earned their keep here, taking down heavy hitters like CLG Academy and Maryville. So, yeah, I mean, hey, good luck in the lower bracket, Supernova, and good luck against any teams playing against them. But Team Liquid Academy continuing the run in the upper bracket. And I'm hearing that we do have a post-game interview set up here with one of the players from Team Liquid Academy. So whenever production's ready, we can get them in here. And it looks like, there we go. We have Jan himself. All right. Congratulations, Jan, on the quick 2-0 victory. Did y'all have like lunch plans, or what was the reason for the speed run?
Nothing really. I hope we get treated out to a nice dinner since we broke our record for Spring Split PG. I'm sure Jake, our Spawn, will take us out to a nice, juicy dinner.
All right, pressure's on for the coach there, Jan. And that's actually where I do want to start, as I know that on the broadcast, I talked with Harry beforehand as well. You are a team that has top 2'd every single event for Academy, except for Proving Grounds in the Spring Split, where things didn't go your way. Is there any sort of extra motivation, extra chip on your shoulders coming in here as not only the #1 seed and the Academy champions, but also from that Spring Split Proving Grounds performances, that you feel like you guys have something to prove going into this tournament? How does it feel like in your shoes as the #1 seed and as someone who didn't live up to expectations in the spring?
Yeah, well, not sure if it's really expectations. I expect us to do well regardless of how we did in spring, because to be fair, I thought we were the best team going into Proving Grounds as well. We just had 2 very bad sets due to nerves or whatever. So I think if those 2 games didn't happen, we would have still won PG in spring. I expect us to win us PG in summer as well. Not really like expectations, but just, yeah, I guess it's expectations for us to win PG still, without bad games this time.
It's high expectations to put on yourselves, but after a performance like that, I think you can have a little confidence going in with those kinds of expectations. And Jan, I want to take some time to talk about you as a player and kind of your story and development, because again, coming from the 100 Thieves Next program last year in 2020 there, and then, yeah, I mean, you mentioned a little bit in the spring, whether it was nerves, whether it's just bad sets. What's the difference now in the Jan in 2021 summer split compared to back last year when we saw you on 100 Thieves Next? What's your journey been like, and how have you seen yourself develop?
Well, last year I didn't think I really knew much about the game at all. I was just like laning to lane. I didn't really give much thought about anything. Now I just like, I know what I'm doing at least. Even when it comes to draft, like I'm actually involved compared to like last year. One of my problems last year was like I didn't really say anything in draft. I didn't really care. Not care, but I wasn't involved as much. But this year I'm like, I know what matchups I want. I'm pretty confident going to things. I know how it'll pan out in the next, like, from minute 1 to like minute 20 for laning phase at least. So like I think I improved a lot in laning phase and like overall as a player throughout, like at least spring to summer, and a lot throughout like from last year.
Yeah, and that's something that, I mean, you even proved in the second game. I think especially just given the fact that this is your first play of Ziggs, at least on stage, for both Academy playoffs and the Academy summer split. And also, you flash to catch the Mystic shot. You had the Satchel Charge, like, make Ezreal take an extra turret shot. Like, you play those 2 skirmishes really well. So for you, like, Ziggs specifically, what's it been like kind of picking up a new champion like Ziggs, someone that's different from the traditional marksman? And like, what's your process of going through picking up a new champion that plays a little bit of a different style in the bot lane?
Well, when I first played Ziggs, it was really funny. I didn't even play him in slow queue. It was just a scrim, and I just ran around screaming like a little rat because I thought Ziggs was a little rat champion. In scrims, I would just be like, and then it was funny. I mean, I thought I could play Ziggs for a really
Keep
long
the
time.
spirits
It's
up in
just
scrims, right? Yeah.
I just played Ziggs. I didn't play Ziggs in summer playoffs because I just had like a bad week of scrims before, so I just went defaulted back to my normal champions. So we didn't really touch any of those champions. Yeah, I expect teams to ban it against me now.
I think that they're going to have to keep that in mind, at least, because clearly the development of the growth there can be seen on the Rift. But after that victory, Swift 2-0, you now continue on in the upper bracket. You mentioned that you're hoping that the team does some kind of dinner. If you got the choice, what are you picking, Jan? What's the team getting for
In
dinner
and
tonight?
out. In and out.
In and
If you don't
out.
That was
get in
the
and out,
fastest
I'm
answer.
pissed.
All right, you heard
All
it
right.
here, Jan.
Well, Jan, I hope you get in and out as fast as you hopped in and out of this series, as this was a quick 2-0 from you. And before you get in and out, I do want to offer any other words, thank yous, or shout-outs you'd like to give from anyone at Team Liquid Academy to any fans or anyone watching.
Well, it's just everyone. Like, I'm really appreciative of my teammates, appreciative of, like, the coaching staff and LCS team as well. They're pretty involved, or like they help us a lot. Like, at least Tattoo and Core, I learned a lot from them throughout like spring and summer. Really appreciative of them.
All right. Well, let's see if you can keep riding this momentum forward, Jan. It's awesome to see the development of Team Liquid Academy, and thank you for joining us for our Verizon post-game interview. With that said, we're going to send it here to a short break before we're back for our next series where Immortals Academy and Dignitas Academy will clash. So stick around. We'll be right back after this break. Bye, Jan.
Verizon believes everyone deserves the best. That's why we start with 5G from America's most reliable network.
Verizon 5G is next level.
Then give families plans to mix and match, so you only pay for what you need starting at $35.
You get so much more than this, a great network.
And offer the best in entertainment on select unlimited plans, like Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, as well as Discovery Plus, with a Galaxy S21 Plus 5G when you buy one. There's no reason to settle for less than the best. Only from Verizon.